Are you ready to unlock new opportunities and take your journey to the next level? Today on the Believe Retreat, we present Unlock Your Story: Why Creatives Should Become Authors. Hey
Uh-oh,
everybody.
Joanna's
Oh,
head
Joanna,
cut
we
off.
gotta get in closer when we're in this camera view. Hey, we have such an exciting episode today because we're going to tell a story. We're going to tell the story of a creative named Savannah who has decided to join a book anthology with the Believe Retreat in a fun collaboration that's going to start in June. So we wanted you guys to get a good picture of what this little storytelling collaboration is all about. So, to start this story out about the year in the life of a creative believer, we begin in an internet land far, far away. Or maybe it's right around the corner. A creative woman sat staring at her notebook. The page blank, her mind foggy. She finally had the time to write, but now she was just too tired to even think. It just felt so hard. So, not really noticing, she absentmindedly picked up her phone and started scrolling, and she came across an invitation. Collaborate on the Believe Retreat Anthology. Hmm, maybe that could work. A gentle tug at her heart whispered, "Oh, you belong here." Hmm. She didn't know what it was yet, but it felt different, like a door opening to something that she didn't even know she was looking for.
The spark. There is something that draws her into this interesting play space. She's curious, maybe even a little hopeful. She was told that to sell more of her artwork, she should write a book. But she had no idea where to start or how to do it. But all she knew was that her art wasn't selling. She was going to all these craft fairs, lugging all her stuff, setting it up, and not selling anything. There had to be another way. So maybe it was becoming an author. And now she is excited by this opportunity because it seems like it's the answer to her question. The thought of saying yes fills her with all kinds of emotion.
It's because she responded to a simple invitation. She doesn't have it all figured out, but she says yes anyway. She's directed to a website, the Believe Retreat page. She wasn't so sure about publishing something and being an author, but it just sounded like these first three collaborations taking her three steps closer to figuring out how being a part of a book anthology could actually help her sell more art. She went ahead and bought the 3 pack for the 3 months
including recordings and resources. She's filling out the form online. June, July, August. Click submit. Something changes inside of her. The message that she's getting is, you know what? I think I can do it. Look at these ladies. They've been faithfully streaming every Tuesday. Look at all the content on this site. Look at the conversations that are going on. This is real guidance. This is practical stuff that all of us creatives need. This is the support I need because that's helping me to believe that I can do this. The first step is that this creative artist checks her email and she sees an invitation to subscribe to the online community so she can participate, post a question, look for answers, get to know other like minded and like hearted creatives in this community. She sees it on YouTube. She can subscribe and like to the regular stream and participate on YouTube, even if she misses it live. She gets a reminder about the next week's upcoming event. Hey, try live, try the replay. She grabs the notebook and sharpens her pencil. She's ready to take notes. She's going to listen to the guests that are appearing here and the questions that they answer and the suggestions. They're welcoming. They really want to offer guidance and support. June rolls around. And here she is having a chance to process and go through all the stories she's been telling herself that have caused her to stay stuck. Now she starts writing these words down. She can't believe it. It's actually done. It's difficult now when you learn how to break it down and just start writing. Just get it out in a safe container. The best part was having someone to really listen to the struggles that she's been having and knowing that the intention of this year is to solve that problem of being stuck. What a relief.
She was surprised to see all of these stories of different creatives. They contributed stories just like she is. In the idea incubator sessions, the team helped each other develop their stories. There was the children's book author who couldn't figure out how to go to the next section of her series. And they helped her through that. And that became a part of her chapter. And then there was the adult author who wanted to write children's books, but was afraid that she couldn't get creative enough to be fun for children. And then there was the singer. The singer had all of these songs already written. They just needed to be put together in the logical order to become a book chapter. There were so many ideas, and they helped Savannah develop her idea on talking about how she creates her art, the emotion be, behind her art, and why she is the authority on doing what she does. She was really just an artist wanting to create more art. She never really thought of herself as a writer being ready to be published, but the support she felt made her feel like
Really creatively becoming. She enters the second pre-collaboration event online. She's still a little unsure if she's going to publish her story, but she's willing to explore this a little further. The page, the blank page is now full, but the story is not yet complete. Over the next 2 months, in the next two sessions, she received the information she needed to find the right perspective, to not only write her story and deliver it into the hands that people who needed to hear it, but to have maximum impact with that story. She was having a good time, so she even invited a couple of her friends to join during the second event, and they have been working with her, co-collaborating in between meetings, sharing their stories and helping each other edit them. After that second event, she just felt incredible. And this was the closest that she'd ever come to completing her story and telling her story. And not just any story, it's the one that made her realize really how far she'd come and that she really did have wisdom to share. And not only did she have that wisdom, that ability to share it, it was a responsibility now for her to share it for other people's benefit. Francine, what what was the energy like for her in those workshops?
Well, part of what made her writing her story so difficult in the past was not having the community of support. And she was working through the writing process all alone. She was staying stuck so long because she didn't have the inspiration from the other creatives. But by the second online event, she decided that she was ready to do this. She knew she would not be doing this alone. And she already got such great feedback from the other collaborators that she couldn't wait to share her story with even more people because she was stuck in her head before she joined this community. And this community of like minded individuals helped her see that she really did have everything she needed. Now, something the collaboration weekend in Jacksonville would prepare her to do was mentally and physically do the right things after the book was published. She was going to go all in and upgrade her collaborator ticket. She was excited that she had already spent all three online events and that they would transfer into the collaborator ticket because she is now an anthology author and she wants the rest of the experience to find out how to get the rest of the project done and then how to use the book to help sell her art. And then it gets even better. Two of her friends decided to jump on board with her. When she invited them, she made 15% affiliate pay. That's right, 15% just for bringing her friends into the project with her. But this story is not done. Next, we are going to be telling the story of what happens over the next 9 months. But for now, let's go over some questions people have been asking about the three events leading up to the in person collaboration retreat in September.
Also, if you
Are
guys
there
out
any
there
questions?
have any questions in the chat while we're going over these questions, feel free to put them in there and we'll answer them. So, Francine, why don't you answer first for us? What kind of person is usually drawn to the Believe Retreat anthology collaboration?
So far, the people who have been attracted to our offer are people who have a story to tell and they've been wanting to write a book, But the thought of writing 70,000 words is just, we are offering a chance to tell a part of your story, 1,000 words. And did you know the hardest part of writing a book isn't the writing process? The hardest part is promoting that book after. As a part of this collaboration, we will be working as a team on the sales and the promotion. So now you're going to have 49 new best friends knowing you, your story, who are seeing your art, who are going on their podcast talking about how great you are and how much you know, and that you're the authority in what you do. The people who join this anthology are people looking to have more visibility in what they are already doing and just finding a new way to show it to the world.
Yeah, and I think also some people have figured out that there are certain challenges that they have come across that having a clear story can really help. For example, I auditioned for American Idol. I don't remember what year it was anymore, but it was in Minneapolis. And so I was doing all this research about what was going to get me through all the auditions. And one of the auditions was more specifically, they wanted to know what your story was. And if you didn't have a story, well, guess what? Everyone's going to forget about you. You're not really TV worthy. You're out. And I thought at first this was just a TV thing, but really having a story, telling your story is what helps you cut through and be memorable amongst all those other artists out there. And it really helps attract the right people to you. And so, Joanna, I want you to talk a little bit more about what do you think really excites people who want to join a collaboration like this?
When I shared this opportunity yesterday with a brief little lunch, this woman that I was sharing with a theater and TV background, she said, "Oh my goodness, I want to be a part of this. I need a retreat to just get away, unplug, and focus on these stories that I have inside of me. So many ideas. And because we stay so busy making a living, dealing with family and other responsibilities, we don't carve out the time to actually accomplish this storytelling, this creative expression, and that artistic side of us. So it was very appealing to her that we have created events, that we have things that lead up to the big in-person one, but just to get people started, to get the juices flowing, to start the discipline and the practice of just start writing, and we'll help you with the rest.
And we know that committing to something like, oh my gosh, I'm going to sign up for a whole year program. Did you see my schedule? Do you see how much stuff I have going on? This is pretty intense. So we set the program up in such a way that you can kind of dip your toe in and just get started, even if you just do the first online event in June, and that's all you end up doing. What's going to happen at that event is you're going to get all of the tools that are going to help you get out of your own head, out of your own way. A lot of the things that have been slowing us down start with ourselves. Once we get ourselves out of the way, we're going to have a bunch of other resources and you're going to have words on the paper before you even leave that workshop. And to top it off, Joanna, what if you didn't hear about this and now it's August? Like, oh my gosh, I missed the first two. That does not disqualify you from collaborating. We're recording these along with having some nice guided resources so you can pick up even in August watch the recordings. It's going to be broken down. So even in a month's time before the in-person retreat, you're going to be able to get your 1,000 words put together in a nice, slow, easy, smooth pace, which is the way that we roll around here at the Believe Retreat. So, Francine, tell them a little bit more about the kind of guidance and structure they're going to receive with this collaboration.
In addition to the three already scheduled events, I will be leading idea incubators at different times, different days of the week to fit your schedule. And these idea incubators are a cross between a mastermind and a brainstorming session where we talk about what your ideas are and help you focus them in to start getting your outline for your chapter built. Because sometimes you have the perfect thing right up in here, but you think nobody's going to want to hear that. If you're in a room with 10 other people and you say something, oh, that was genius, that's what you need to write about, that is going to give you that boost of confidence you need. Then there's another thing that was brought to my attention. Some people are just plain old not writers, but they could talk all day long. We could bring you on a podcast in an interview and interview you and then make a text out of that and we could polish into your chapter. So, what I'm trying to say here is we will find out what your abilities are, what your unique talents are, and we will figure out how we could help you get your words on the page.
I love it because it's step by step. Any task, when you just break it down into baby steps and you get support at each stage, you know that you can do it. That's what they say. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? But we make it doable. No one has to be afraid.
Have you thought about what your story is going to be about, Joanna?
I have. I'm going to write my part from the perspective of the character in my musical. And this is a woman who doesn't set foot on a stage to perform, which was her childhood dream, until she's a 50-year-old widow. And so it's going to be a snippet in time. It's going to be the conversation she has with herself and the reflections and memories that she has where she's full of emotions before she pulls it all together, grounds herself, and gets out there on that stage. So we're going to be in the room with her. We're going to see everything she sees, smell it, taste it, feel it, just hear it. Boom, 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 in our bodies like we're there. I think that that'll be a little fresh, some a little twist.
And while she's talking about this musical, when you sign up to collaborate with us for the year and you're here with us in Jacksonville, Florida, Joanna is going to be performing that. So not only are you going to be able to read her chapter, but you're going to get to hear her sing that story. And that is just incredibly powerful. And this is a great way to support Joanna in the music stuff that she's doing. You know, you've really said before that you never really thought of yourself as an author, but you've done it before.
That exactly. That's right. Because why? Somebody called me and invited me. And I said, why not? I have a story to share. And my chapter was called From Rock Bottom to Rock Star. It talked about my relationship with my music career as a single mom with three kids. And so the three of us, we're all published, we're all writers, we're authors, and we are connecting you with people also to help bounce the ideas off of and to craft that story. So it's going to be a beautiful experience. This is going to help first time writers tremendously. And even if you've been published before, you're going to have a good time.
And I think this is a chance for a lot of people to finally kind of stand up and be heard and tell their story. We were touching on it before. Some people are like, I don't, who's going to listen? Why is this important? And you're going to get a chance to really learn why your story is important, why you are important, why people would want to come and hang out with you and appreciate your art and be in your space and be in your community, because this really isn't about, I need to get more people to buy my stuff. For us artists, like, let's just face it, we're not really all about money, but we still need it to survive and pay our rent and stuff, right? So really that's not what drives us. What drives us is sharing our art with other people, and the gratitude, I guess, that I feel when somebody else really appreciates something that I have created. It's that deeper feeling, that passion that gets satisfied in events like this. Francine, I'm interested to hear more from you. What kind of breakthroughs or community moments do you anticipate is going to emerge from this collaboration?
Okay, first I have to say, hi, Mom. My mom's watching us today.
Hey, Mom!
The type of moments we're going to have is, like I said earlier, you are going to find 49 new best friends. I had a collaboration book, an anthology book, come out last month. And I had never met the lady who asked me to join it. She just saw me on Facebook and said, I love your story. Will you join the anthology? And I did. And now I am doing a book club with them, which is something we are going to do after our book is published. You will get to come on this show with us and talk about your chapter and about your art. So I am in this book club with them. And I am collaborating with them on new collaborations and new projects. And they are helping promote my books while I help promote our anthology. So it's like building a whole new team that you never thought you would ever know, because this is people not in your inner circle. We're people from all different walks of life that will be getting eyes on what you do. It's just amazing how spending an afternoon writing 1,000 words, sending it to the group, letting them put this book together, and then doing the promos for the book has given me a whole new set of friends, a whole new set of collaborators, and a whole new set of cheerleaders. And who can't use more cheerleaders, right?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up like the whole new set of people on your team thing, because yes, your friends and your family, yeah, they're your team. But you know what? They know you kind of like you know you. And so sometimes, even though they don't mean to, they love you, um, they set limits on you too. And the other thing that I find when I'm talking to a lot of musicians is I'm having a really hard time finding the right team members to build what I want to build. I'm not finding the right people who have the same like mind, who want to achieve this same goal. And so, what we're doing here with this collaboration is we're finding all of those right people, the ones that actually want to tell their story and put it together in a book and figure out what publishing is all about and hold an actual published book with their name on it, that they were an author, and, be able to give all their friends and family a copy for Christmas saying, huh? Look what I did. And you know what? You might not even have to talk to them the whole entire time this is going on. You might just surprise them, which might be a completely different way that you've been going about it in the past. A lot of people are like, I'm going to do this. And they talk about how they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. And then they never actually get started. So, what we're suggesting here is turn it around. Don't tell them anything. Just come hang out with your new set of author friends, and we're gonna make something really cool together.
Yeah, so it all starts with each one of us being seen, heard, appreciated, and how to use this book to up level our art and our entire life. It's going to happen for you. That's the reason why the three of us Believe Sisters have come together because we said yes and we were open to other opportunities to grow and expand.
Can I share another quick little story? Last weekend, my our publisher, Ken Mashan, came out to the Toastmasters conference and he did an educational session on using your book on the stage, on using your book to get on more stages. And this was for speakers. But I took at it as using this anthology written for adults to sell more children's books.
Yeah.
And the one thing he said that I really want to talk about is you have this book, and the author copies aren't going to be very expensive, somewhere between $5 and $7. Now, we all go around passing out business cards, right? What if you found someone you really wanted to work with? And instead of handing them your business card, you say, I was in this book. You could read my chapter and see all about me.
Yes, I saw that happen at an event on Saturday. There are people who read these books because I did. A woman walked in, I introduced her to a friend, and I said, do you know about her book? She goes, oh, no, I didn't. They had an amazing 20-minute conversation because the book created, it arouses curiosity and interest. And now, guess what? Those two ladies, they will be collaborating with something in the future. So it's a little cash, it's an introduction, and it creates relationships and opportunities to share our message and our art with the world.
So if you're wondering, are people really gonna read my story? Are there really people that still read out there? Whoa, yes, there are people still out there that read and would pick up the book. And that's going to be a huge part of this collaboration, too. It's maybe the biggest question that every business owner is asking, every creative is asking. How do I get the right eyes on what I have? And so that is going to be a huge, huge part of all of this. And interestingly enough, all of those answers start from inside of you. And so
Beth,
that means you have complete control over what the results are going to be. So we are going to take the time to imagine what that impact is going to be that you're going to have with telling this story. And then we're all going to work together as a team to make all of those little new stories we're telling ourselves a reality.
okay, I just have to add this because Beth Minot is here, our
Hey, Beth.
Yeah, hey, Beth.
our social media with a twist fangirl. And Beth just said you could use excerpts from your book for your social media content. And that is so very true. I
Great.
use little blips from all of my different anthologies I've done. I've been in three now, and I take out little lines and paragraphs from them to build my social media. So if you are a creative and you just don't know what to put on Facebook or Instagram or what to put in your next video, this anthology is for you because we will help you build a year's worth of content.
Yes, I can't wait for that. Anything to make it easier. It's a no-brainer. Don't worry about it. We're going to show you. So easy is the way to go. You
So
got support.
today we only told half of the story of our creative named Savannah. We only got her up to September when our in-person retreat is going to be. If you recall, she has decided to go all in and she's going to join us for the year. And so next week we're going to talk about what the remaining 9 months of the year is going to look like for her, what kind of opportunities are going to pop up, those sorts of things. And we're going to go over some more questions that we've had people ask us about this event. So please join us next week. Ask your questions in the comments. As you can hear, we can see you. We can call you out when we see you. We want to thank Sandra and Love Bomb Collective and Beth Minot for being here. I think Beth might even be joining us live next week because she is a huge part of what's going to make the 9 months after these events so magical. And so that is next week. We've got part two of the story. Until then, make sure you go join us in the Believe Retreat community. Scan that barcode. I added a new topic in there this week, and it's all for any questions that you might be having about the upcoming anthology project. So if there's anything that you thought of after watching this episode and you want to ask, it's a great place to ask. You can also reach out to us. We're pretty responsive. There's three of us.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you with any questions you might have.
Yeah. So, ladies, we just want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Remember, if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. And at first, you got to believe it. So, from the head,
To the heart.
To the hands.
yes,
Yes,
you
you
can.
can. Yeah.